role does self-hypnosis play in understanding and transforming our mental health?
Okay, so I introduced a little bit about hypnotherapy, right? And I kind of wanted to share what hypnosis really is, because I know a lot of people have a misconception of hypnosis as far as stage hypnosis and clinical hypnosis. So there's a huge difference. Before I answer that question, I think I'll demystify hypnosis because it has some weird concepts behind it, just because of, you know, entertainment purposes, what we've seen, what we've experienced at state fairs. I even participated a long time ago at, I think, the Sac State Fair, and I went on stage, and at first I was like so skeptical. I was like, this is not gonna work, like whatever, I volunteer, like whatever, I'll accept, like whatever happens. I was open-minded, right? I was like, I'll do it, and I didn't think I was gonna get chosen, but they chose me, right? But they do choose like a big selective group, and then you'll start to notice like certain people can't actually go into the state, right? So they'll eliminate them, and they didn't eliminate me. So I was very suggestible. I was very suggestible to hypnosis, and so how hypnosis works is your mind has to be open to receive the suggestions that are being given to you. So during stage hypnosis or clinical hypnosis, your mind needs to be open to suggestions. So whether I was on stage or during a session, if my mind isn't open to being receptive of what is being given to me, I simply won't do it. Same with the stage. A lot of people got eliminated because their mind is like, I'm not listening to this guy, right? So they weren't receptive and they were eliminated for that reason. So going back to being open-minded and reaching this state of hypnosis, which is also known as a state of relaxation, because in order to get into the state of hypnosis, your mind just needs to be so relaxed that you're able to receive whatever the person is suggesting. And again, you can't be made to do anything that goes against your moral code or your values or your beliefs, because in a sense, you're in control. Hypnosis has this concept of mind control, but if anything, it's completely opposite. It's more control of your mind. So with our mental health, learning how to incorporate self-hypnosis in our daily practice in the mornings or at nights, that is gonna help our mental health to just be more present. And our mind really, this is all we have. We are only living in the now. There is no tomorrow, there is no yesterday, none of it. Time is a concept, it's a construct to get us to get going and make things happen for ourselves. But realistically, this is all we have. Like, there is nothing else. So having that state of relaxation, also known as self-hypnosis, is so important for our mental health, because if we're not relaxed and we're not in our present moment, that can cause anxiety, that can cause depression, that can cause a lot of anger, a lot of frustration, and a lot of stress, and the list goes on and on. So learning to practice self-hypnosis is such a benefiting and underestimated concept for our mental health.
Okay, next one. How can women of color use hypnosis, self-hypnosis, to navigate and overcome social barriers?
Great question. So, social barriers, let's start there. Social barriers is tough, you know, because they start since we're little. You know, a little bit about our mind, the subconscious mind. It is actually formulated from the ages 0 to 11 or 12 years old. So during that time frame, it's really crucial when you are growing in this stage and you're experiencing life, and essentially it's causing all of your belief systems to be formulated. So by the time you reach 12 or 13, you have already got all of your belief systems created, and now we're living as adults, you know, with these limiting beliefs that were created when we were children. So it's really important to identify the belief systems that you're carrying and be able to, you know, re-educate them through self-hypnosis or a guided hypnotherapist like myself. And essentially that's what I help my clients with, is go back to and we'll discover these limiting beliefs, because society is what shapes us without us even realizing it. So these barriers truly, you know, have such an impact in our entire life without us even realizing it. Our thoughts, our emotions, how we feel, what we experience, the way we perceive things, it has a lot to do with these social barriers. So self-hypnosis is so helpful because once you understand and have access to the beliefs that you had or that you've already created and re-educate them, it is so helpful because you essentially tell your belief system a whole new program. I mean, because really that's what it is. You know, we get programmed from really young age, and then now we're living as adults still in that mindset of a 3 or 4 year old without us even realizing it. You know, and that's why we have these questions of, why am I such a people pleaser? I don't understand this. Like, I'm speaking for me. I had this problem, but I've done a lot of healing. And I actually discovered, because I connected with my subconscious mind, and I had a guided hypnotherapist colleague of mine do the work on me, because I always wondered, like, why am I know I can say no to people, but why do I say yes all the time? I don't like this. So I discovered that at the age of 3 years old, I was in an event where I said yes, even though I wanted to say no. But it was really simple. I was like 3 years old, I wanted to eat, my mom wanted to feed me, I was like wanting to play. I was like, no, I want to go play. But she's like, no, you need to eat. But when we're children, we look at everything through a me lens. So it's very difficult for us to understand concepts of like the reality. Like, people really trying to help a child, but the child is gonna think like, you're a monster, you know, but it creates this limiting belief, and it's such a small moment that you would never think would affect a child, but it affected me because I created like this belief of having to please people when I didn't want to. So it's so powerful, and I love it. I love what I do. So yeah, that's kind of what it does.
And if you guys have any questions, you guys can always.
Oh yeah, feel free to ask away and interrupt while we speak here.
While we speak, we don't want to, bore you guys either with the conversation.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Or if you guys have your own experience that you guys may think, like, while we're asking these questions, like, oh, maybe I do have, I can tap into that. I can, realize that I also went through something like that. Like, I'm also a people pleaser, and it's been hard. Like, I didn't go through the hypnosis and stuff like that, but I just kind of try to tell myself, like, you can't always please everybody. It's like parties. You can't always please everybody. Everybody's always going to talk about the food, about the people, the music, they're always going to have a criticism against whatever is going on. So yeah.
I'd like to add to that though. That's why it's so important to have this state of relaxation, because people are always going to have their opinions, people are always going to have their own thoughts and their own feelings towards something, but like when you are so relaxed and so present with yourself and like what you like and what you want, like you like create this barrier. Talking about social barriers, you really create your own barrier within the societal barrier. So it's like this powerful thing of just being present, and like it really just, when you change yourself, you change the world. And I feel like a lot of people have this thing of, or concept of like, this world needs to change, so that everything needs to happen right now. But the question is, well, what are you doing? As individuals, what are we actually doing? Because we can't expect change to happen if we're not creating change for ourselves.
Can self-hypnosis help in reshaping our self-image or reboosting our self-esteem?
Definitely huge. So, self-hypnosis, I think let's shift that word to our subconscious, because self-hypnosis essentially, what that's meaning is being so relaxed that you have access to your subconscious. So yeah, I think that'll be a different, it'll be a little bit more clear. But when you access your subconscious, it helps you so much because you tell it what you want it to do for you. 95% of our thoughts, emotions, behavior, feelings is all in our subconscious. So our self-esteem and our confidence, everything that we want to experience, we need to tell our subconscious what we want it to do for us. Because if we're not telling our subconscious mind what we want it to do for us, guess what? It's going to continue to behave according to that 3 or 5 year old, because of the belief system that it's been feeling and experiencing its whole life. So it's so important to access the subconscious and really tell it what you want it to do. This is why journaling is so important. I shared a little bit about my book that I have coming out soon. It's actually a guided manifestation journal, and I purposely made it a journal. It's a book because I give a lot of concepts and instructions, and I go into depth about how things work, but I make it very simple in like 6 or 7 pages, and the rest are writing prompts for you to access the subconscious mind, tell your subconscious mind what you needed to do to reach any goal that you want. And I really have you reflect on the questions, because how could I explain? When accessing your subconscious mind, you really need to have conversations with yourself, because essentially you're having a conversation with your own subconscious mind, and you're like really thinking about these questions. Because a lot of the questions that we have are, I don't know why I do this, or I don't know why I feel like this. I don't know why, I don't know why, I don't know why. That I don't know why, that answer lies in your subconscious mind. And the reason why you don't know why is because you're constantly in the conscious state of awareness. So we're like, in this state right now, we're like, well, I don't know why. But when you access the conscious, you're like, oh, that's why. So to answer and conclude that, your self-esteem goes through the roof if that's what you want it to be. So it's a powerful thing. It just depends what it is that you want.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on with journaling, actually writing it versus typing it out, or?
That's a great question. No, that's so true. So there's actually a scientific study based on this exactly. I don't have the exact study of where it came from, but I remember reading this because I had that same question myself. And the power behind writing it down, specifically in blue ink. Something about the blue ink, apparently in science, it catches and throws like different signals to the mind for it to really capture in. So writing in blue ink, that's one. But two, physically writing it down and having your mind connect with your own writing, with your own creativity. There's something about it that when you visually see your own writing hands down on paper, your mind starts to, that's you telling your subconscious mind what it needs to do for you. So it starts to read and feel, it's connecting with your senses again, like you need to feel, hear, experience, all of it. So I don't know, maybe rustling through the pens or finding your perfect pen or colored or whatever, all this adds to your experience. So the mind is a powerful thing. The more you experience and feel during these states of journaling, the more you enhance your journaling experience. So for that reason, I think the phone thing, you don't really get to enjoy that much as far as probably like a click sound reply, like little buttons you could kind of hear. But it's just not, I wouldn't recommend that for journaling. You know, it's a great way to express your thoughts, like a quick thought, you're like, I'm gonna put it down or something. But as far as journaling and getting like deep to the root cause of what you wanna work on, I would highly suggest old school traditional pen and paper. Okay, thank you. Yeah, anybody else have questions?
I can add to that too. So I feel like when I started journaling, it's more of I did it as a technique to like remember stuff, like a repetition. So as well as like you're looking at the words, you're writing it, and you're feeling it. So I'm like subconsciously remembering everything I write. I've also translated and learned how to translate Spanish from English, well, English to Spanish, since I was little, since like I can talk. Like my parents spoke to me in English and Spanish, so you can imagine my brain was like, whoo, like what is this word connected to this? So I started journaling and writing each word, but would translate it. So go and actually learn the language. You know, you hearing it every day, somebody speaking to you in that language, you know, helps.
Power of consistency, yeah. So like even journaling, if you're not being consistent, just with anything, if you're not being consistent, like you can try to learn a new language, but are you gonna speak it? Are you gonna try? Are you gonna be consistent? You can try to go work out, but are you gonna be consistent? You know, it kind of depends on whatever it is that you're doing. Consistency is major, it's key.
Okay. Let's move on to 4. So what are some common misconceptions about hypnosis, or?
Yeah, there's so many. But just, I think I kind of answered it, but I'll answer it very quickly. So there's a difference as far as stage hypnosis goes, because that's more of entertainment purposes. With clinical hypnotherapy, like what I do, we're healing. We're, in a sense, re-educating your limiting beliefs and transforming them to new ones to serve you and help you with whatever it is that you've been doing your whole life. So that's really powerful stuff. Comparing stage hypnosis, I feel like it's mocked to clinical hypnotherapy because a lot of people have this conception of, well, I'm so afraid like I'm gonna be quacking like a duck or something like during a session, where it's not the case at all, because during your experience in my chair, it's simply just a state of relaxation, and once the client gets relaxed, then I have their goals, and then we we re-educate the limiting beliefs, and it's such an enjoyable experience for my client, and not just for my client, but for me, because I feel like I kind of hypnotize myself while I'm hypnotizing my client into the state of relaxation. But it's really powerful because like you're really going back to where everything first began, and like, I don't know of anything that exists out there. It's powerful. It's huge.
I have a question. How do you compare that to like traditional therapy?
Oh, great question. Yeah. So during talking therapy or psychotherapy, that's what the regular therapy would be like. You're usually in a setting where you go back and forth communicating with your therapist, but the difference is with hypnotherapy, we don't need to do talking so much. Why? Because we're working with your subconscious mind. In talking therapy, you work and you're fully aware because you're working in your conscious state of mind. But think about it like an iceberg. You're scratching barely the surface when you're working through the conscious mind, because the root cause of the problems are not there. They're way down here, and this berg of ice is what's keeping this entire problem all the way up top. And that's why you're wondering like, why? Because you're not within the subconscious, or you're not even figuring out what's going on within that talking session. So that's what the huge difference is with talking therapy and hypnotherapy. There's actually statistics that goes like six hypnotherapy sessions versus 600 sessions of talking therapy. That's how transformative this modality is, because you're working in the problem. Talking therapy, you're going back and forth trying to figure out the problem together, and it's not, and even I've had, like, prior to becoming a hypnotherapist, I experienced my own healing therapy talking conversation with a talking therapist, but I felt so uncomfortable. Like, I would go home in my car like, dang, I just shared my whole life story with a stranger, and I don't even feel healed. Like, I feel like judged a little bit, or I don't know, it didn't make me feel good. And the thing I enjoy about hypnotherapy is that I don't need much information. You don't even need to share your whole life story. We really just get to the root cause by you telling me what your goals and your intentions are. Like, let's say you're suffering with stress or anxiety. Let's work with that. That could just be an example, because a lot of people suffer with anxiety. So what happens is I gather the goals, I gather, what does my client want to experience without anxiety? Well, I want to feel more at peace. I want to feel more focused. I want to feel more confident. I want to feel more calm. Okay, perfect. Let's do that. Re-educate the belief system, transformative, the next day, it's already working. Like, it's that powerful, it gives me the goosebumps. It's so crazy. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, but in a way, like, are you not ever like really getting to like the root cause of how you got there, because you're never like going through the process of like talking?
Oh no,
like,
we do.
how?
No, we do have a talking session, but it's very brief.
Got it.
It's very like, let's talk about it, share how you feel. No, excuse me, it's not like, hi, let's sit down, let's go do this. That'd be a little, I don't know. So there is a small portion of talking, but we don't go a whole hour of talking or 2 hours of talking like you normally do in a talking therapy session. Yeah. Anybody else have questions about that?
And it's okay, we all seen a psychiatrist. I've seen one, you guys. It's not rare. I mean, even in our ages, a lot of people, I know my parents don't believe in psychiatrists. I think it's always good to just go talk to somebody, even though you feel judged, because I changed my psychiatrist like a million times, you guys. Yeah. I have Kaiser, so, psychiatrists ain't that good. They don't really know how to connect with you. And if it's just like, also like I'm a person of color, so it's different. You know,
Right.
somebody that doesn't know your barriers, that's never been through your barriers, that doesn't know your traumatizing events and stuff like that, or has never even experienced a traumatizing event. You know, psychiatrists, they say that they have to go through it themselves first, before being a psychiatrist. Yeah, I don't see it. I think, yeah, a lot of psychiatrists, at least the ones I've seen, I don't know, like, I think they need to go back to school, girl. Because I didn't feel the connection.
Yeah, no, I get it. It is really hard to find like someone
A
you're
good
comfortable with.
psychiatrist, yeah.
That's important.
And talking about psychiatrists, so our next question is, what are the psychology mechanisms behind the self-hypnosis aiding to the goal of manifestation?
That's a little complex question, but if I'm understanding it correctly, I think you might be asking what the psychology behind it manifesting is?
Yeah, so like, what would be, I'm guessing, like the steps?
Yeah, okay.
Going into it.
Okay, so let's talk about manifesting for a moment. Do you guys know anything about manifesting? Yeah? What have you heard or done, or I'm sure you manifested something in your life maybe.
My husband, my 3 children, the house that I live in, the education I have.
And do you mind
Only
sharing?
not the size 10 clothing. Everything else.
And do you mind sharing your process, like how you manifested?
It was creative writing, talking out loud, just really putting it out there on what it is that I want.
Yeah. Wow, you made it happen. Oh my God. Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that for you. Yeah, so that's, I'm gonna just piggyback off what you mentioned there. Feeling is such an important state. Our reality is created because of how we feel internally. How you feel internally is how you will perceive everything around you. This is why it's so crucial to go within. We have the answers right here. And I know that sounds a little very namaste, but very namaste. So let me make it like a little bit more scientific, because when you feel, you connect your thoughts, you connect your senses, you connect, you know, physical, you connect. So when you manifest, it really starts with a thought, right? I'm sure you thought about what you wanted, and that's how you started to manifest. So knowing what you want first is important, because if you don't know what you want, you're going to manifest all of the things that you didn't want. So noticing your thoughts, where they're going, is major, because if you don't know where your thoughts are going, they're going to be scattered all over the place, and that's what's bringing in all these things into your life. And then the second one would be your emotions. When you have a thought, connecting your emotions creates that experience as if it's already happening right now in this present moment, because really all we have is now. So when you experience what you want in this moment right now, because that's all that there is. Have you gone in the past before? Has anybody? No, it doesn't exist. We can try to think we can go in the past, but it's not there. Have you gone in the future? Has anybody gone into the future? It's not possible. It doesn't exist. It's all right now. So when you experience what you want to manifest in this moment, truly feel all of your experience and connect all of your emotions to what you want, you manifest it. So the power of thought is important, but setting intention and taking action. A lot of people think, well, I can have all these thoughts, I can write all my goals down, I can do this and I can do that. But if you're not taking action on what you want, well, dreams don't work unless you do. I can dream, but if I'm not doing, what am I gonna manifest? In order to attract your husband, I'm sure you had to go out and put yourself in a social setting, right? Or however that worked out, but you have to put in the work to get the results that you want for yourself. And also, I would say faith. That's huge. Having faith, trusting the process, trusting your vision, trusting and believing that it's on its way to you, because it is. It's all about beliefs. It's all about our belief system. This is why the subconscious is so important. This is why I'm so passionate about this, because what you believe is essentially what becomes your reality. So noticing your beliefs and paying attention to what your belief systems are, what your limiting belief systems are, is important to attract whatever you want to manifest into your reality. Because if you don't know what your limiting beliefs are, it's gonna cause a lot of the stuff that you want to manifest to take some time to get to you, because you're limiting those and you're putting up those barriers for your manifestations to come into your life. Whatever you want wants you to. Really. Like whatever you want, it wants you to. And believing that it's on its way to you, that's how you manifest.
Man, where's the money at then?
You might have a limiting belief that you don't even know of and it's not coming. That might be something. Or it could be that you're so focused on not having it, again, because the present moment is so important. The more you focus on not having something, the less you're gonna have of it. So paying attention to your thoughts, and when you have those limiting beliefs, redirecting quick and be like, you know what, acknowledge the thought, let it float by, move on to what you want in the present now. Yeah. And then we get that money.
Right. Where's it at?
We get that money.
Can it rain money, you guys? Like, I think that's what we all want to manifest.
I know, a tree of money, that would be so nice.
The tree of life, where is it at?
Does anybody have any questions about that? How are you guys doing? Good? Good?
Or that you guys have the thought of manifesting?
Yeah, we'll do a few final questions, and then if you guys want to do some yoga, if you guys have some time, just stick around and wrap it up with a nice little yoga session.
How do you practice self-hypnosis with meditation and...
Okay, that's a good question. Okay, so meditation, when you meditate, you enter the state of becoming aware of your thoughts, your sensations, what you're experiencing, but also realizing that you as individuals, us as individuals, our body does not confine us. And during meditation, you realize that this body is really just I'm trying to find the right word for it, but it's just here to help us take action, right? Essentially, we're really just energy. We're souls, spirits in a physical body. That's really what makes us different, but at the same time, we're really not different. We may appear that way physically, we look different, we all look different, and there's nobody who looks like you, but the big difference is we really are all the same. And you realize this through self-hypnosis, you realize this during hypnotherapy, you realize this during a meditative state, because you no longer are focused on just your body, but instead you're focusing on like your experience up here and realizing that it's beyond us. You enter this state of awareness that's beyond the physical realm, and you realize that we're really just spiritual beings living a human experience. And with self-hypnosis, it's there's so many things that we can heal, but it also reminds us that it's just a state of awareness. That's really all it is. And with meditating, it's a state of becoming aware of that other realm that exists, because there's so much more out there. This is not it. This is not everything. This is a part of our existence, but it's not everything. So it really shows you and has you experience that. Do you guys have any questions about that? I know it's kind of a difficult concept to understand.
I was thinking about your book and
Yeah.
your journals prompts. Can you share with us a prompt that you feel like is a real powerful one, or one like a good place to start to get people to pick up your book?
Great question. Let me try to think back. Yeah, so one of the prompts that I have, it's kind of not a lengthy prompt, but I give enough space for you to write down, because I really want to emphasize that when it comes to manifesting. Entering a state of positivity. So important. Because if you're moving through life in a negative mindset, or not even negative, but in a greedy mindset, or in a want more mindset, or a me mindset, that's not real positive, and you're not attracting what you want. If anything, you're gonna attract less of what you want. So I really emphasize the positive mindset and how to enter that through gratitude, through expressing what you already have, being grateful of the now rather than seeking more. And it's important to feel what you already have so you can attract more. So I really would emphasize, or at least in the book, I emphasize the positive mindset, and then I ask, you know, what's something you're grateful for? I have prompts that have you connect, and I share something like, for a moment, close your eyes. Like, if you guys want to practice this right now, you guys can. I'm like, this is kind of cool. I'll say, for a moment, close your eyes. Connect with your breath. And now just imagine, sense, and feel the highest version of yourself. What does she look like? What is she wearing? What's her day-to-day routine like? Notice every detail about her. And now, write down exactly what you just experienced. What actions can you take today to show up just like her? So that's a small little prompt example. So I really have the reader connect with themselves, because the book's not about me at all. I really want to emphasize that. It's not about me. I'm just sharing the knowledge I have to help the readers manifest what they want. Because I've been blessed enough to manifest a lot of the things that I've experienced. I'm well traveled. I feel I'm doing well off in my career. I mean, I'm publishing a book. I've really traveled around the whole world, I feel like. I'm manifesting my husband, though.
I told her to stop looking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I stopped.
Stop looking.
Yeah, you see, because the more you
stop
know.
looking. Stop looking. That's not about manifesting. Yeah.
That's when they show up.
Let me tell you guys a little secret. So it's crazy because you know, I date somebody that's not in the same. We weren't raised in the same like structure.
That's a good thing.
You know, and I don't know. Like, I didn't manifest him, but he came to me. You know, I stopped looking. So
You did manifest, though. Manifesting, you attracted him. You become like magnets to what we want, because again, what you want really wants you too. And so when you put that thought out there, because thoughts really manifest into reality if you're not careful. So you put that thought out there, and he just like came to you at the perfect
came
time.
to me, you guys.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I guess that's something that, and I don't realize it. I guess because I haven't really thought of what manifesting is. We don't really get taught that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is. You know.
Yeah, and for that reason, that's why I was like, a guided manifestation journal would be so good. Like, I don't think I really haven't came across like a guided manifestation journal that like teaches me the power of manifesting. Like, I've heard of manifesting too, and no one really taught me how to do it. But then once I realized, like, oh, this is a cheat code I just unlocked. Let's go. And I'm like, oh, okay, but wait, I figured it out. Let me share this. And I'm like, because it's so powerful. So it's in the publishing process, so I'm excited to put it out there. Hopefully you guys can get some contact, or I can share my contact with you guys so you guys can keep up to date with that, because I would love for you guys to experience this, because it really is. It's an experience. It's not just a book, but it's your own experience tailored to your own goals, to your own manifestations, whatever you want. It's tailored to you because you're the creator of it. I just created it for you. Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Get started on my yoga now? Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.